Thank you for staying with us. Let's quickly go to the dailies now, and we'll begin with the Nation newspaper. The major story here, anxiety, confusion trail electricity tariff hike. Frustrated consumers unable to recharge accounts. Discos blame vending challenges on poor network. Nigeria and Electricity Regulatory Commission, MOM, as AEDC insists no increase for now. All right, you'll find the details of this story on the front page. And then another story here, popular pastor hospitalized after collapsing at airport. Another story here, police arrest officers who ran over handcuffed man. Inspector General of Police summons affected corpse. Edo CP, that's Commissioner of Police, sues for calm. Inside Bauchi's female gay community, state battles same-sex activities in spite of strict Islamic law. And then unease in Enugu as killings, kidnappings set communities on edge. Police anxious, residents in verbal war. As to NUC clash over curriculum for universities, it's a nightmarish model of curriculum re-engineering. Union speaking there. And Sultan, Niger Delta leaders back Tinubu over subsidy. Others support president to defeat insecurity, Shetima tells Northwest leaders. All right, so let me begin with the major story. There was stories making the rounds that there will be a 40% increase for electricity tariff. But the Regulatory Commission hasn't come out to speak because discos have to wait for them to speak to that before they can determine if they were going to increase the electricity tariff. But Nigerians are having challenges with loading their cards, those who have prepaid meters, and they are feeling like these people are trying to be smart by half.
They're stalling.
But the discussors have said that, no, it's network that is the issue. It is not trying to be smart with you guys. It is network. Because a lot of persons wanted to take advantage of the window to ensure that they load their cards before the increment, which is supposed to begin today, but it is not.
Yeah. But, you know, during the week we had taken where the disco said they've not been given any go-ahead.
Of course, they haven't. The Regulatory Commission has to give the go-ahead.
Speculation that they're not planning to, and you know, some stakeholders are also saying that this is not the right time to increase electricity tariff, since we're still suffering from the fuel subsidy. I don't know why people are not able to load.
That's the issue. Now, the volume of persons who want to take advantage of the window in case they eventually increase you know, the electricity tariff. But then, whatever it is, they should ensure that their system works, bottom line. That's what it is for Nigerians.
I was able to recharge last night, because I also had it in mind. But one of the things that just served as an ease for me was that knowing my monthly consumption for the rest of the year, I'm not going to buy electricity.
So you recharge everything at once?
I did.
Nigerians are used to panic buying. Once they know that the price of a product is about to be increased.
Everybody is.
Exactly. Because you cannot really buy for a lifetime. Because if you buy
at least they can save up.
If you buy for 6 months,
afterwards,
you will still exhaust it and you still
but
pay.
40% saved
it's
a
lot.
6 months.
But you
solve enough.
Increasing now. Why are we panicking?
Well, the issue is we don't trust the system.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
That's it.
We don't trust the system. If we did, we wouldn't panic buy anything at all. Right. Who has any other story?
So I have the founder of Omega Power Ministries, OPM, Apostle Chibuzor Gift Chinyere. They said he's been hospitalized over an undisclosed illness. I'm sure we remember him as the pastor that sent those boys to Cyprus to study, and the news came out that they were not able to pay their fees and all of that. So an image of the cleric on a hospital bed had gone viral on social media. They said they saw another video where people were trying to resuscitate him, but they made a post on his Facebook page which reads, "Please let us endeavor to put our Father in the Lord in prayers." Many of his church members and followers are taking to social media to pray for his health. So we don't know what exactly is the cause of the collapsing, but hopefully he'll be fine. We're all praying.
Definitely he'll be fine. It is all he wants is prayers at this point. So Nigerians should pray for him. whatever the controversies were, look beyond the controversies and just pray for him. That's the most important thing. Let him get better at this point. We need to quickly go on a break. When we return, we'll continue looking through the newspaper headlines. Stay with us. All right, thank you for staying with us. Quickly, before we move to the next paper, there's this story because it caused some ripples on social media and even in Edo State. So some policemen used their van to ride over a particular man who is in his 50s. His name is Success Ihimari in Edo State. They handcuffed him and rode their van over him. Oh. So that kind of caused tension. So they had to shoot in the air to disperse people. Oh. And so now the Inspector General of Police is saying that, you know what, we have arrested these people. We have them in our custody, and we are asking that they come to Abuja to answer certain questions with regards to the incident so as to douse tensions. We know how Nigerians are when it comes to relationship with the police force. So issues like this, the police has said that they are going to address it. Let's just keep our fingers crossed to see what will be done, ensuring that there is some level of transparency. People see what kind of disciplinary actions are being taken to address the matter. That's why I needed to quickly touch on that issue. To the Punch now. The major story here, retirement windfall, ex-service chiefs get 4 bulletproof SUVs, 20 domestic aids, really? 36 soldiers. And another story here, father's heart-rending moments as wives labor in delivery rooms. And how I emerged best UTME candidate with a 360 score, teenagers speaking. Films helped me master Mandarin language, Nigerian who topped Chinese varsity at graduation. Fiancé left me after losing my leg to auto crash, says ex-security guard. Happy endings inside massage parlors where clients demand erotic favors. Well, consumers, traders lament as tomato pepper scarcity hits market. Who has what story?
I have a story on page 20 and 21.
Right.
The father's heart-rending moments as wives labor in delivery room.
All right.
Now, when I saw the headline for this, I could relate because, you know, when my husband was I'm married. Yeah, because of the way she was looking at me. And this article goes on to say that, you know, they interviewed like 5 men who gave their own perspectives of that moment. And one of them said he was the one who handled his wife's delivery. Wow. Another one said he developed high blood pressure.
After what?
During the process.
Okay.
Then another one said his wife and his child actually died in the process. Yes. And
really
then
sad one.
A medical practitioner actually now said that the process of childbearing is an experience for couples
to bond.
To go together.
To go together, you know, because most of the teaching hospitals do not allow the husband
to be there,
to be in the delivery room. So he was advocating for the husbands to be present because it kind of like changes the perspective of how they
will not treat you afterwards. Sometimes I'll treat you afterwards. I always ensure that my husband is in the labor room. However, he faints while
they're helping you, they're helping him.
I'll just say, where's the water? Where's the water? Well, I'm trying to bring this baby, but it's always an experience that bonds us together. So
absolutely.
So sometimes there are negative reactions to it. I do not want my husband to be in the labor room to watch me.
Why?
Because men tend to store a lot of pictures in their head.
They will delete it when they are done.
Exactly. So it can
this is interesting.
That is me. That is me. So I've heard some men actually say that they cannot stand that scene. And then it messes up their psyche. Sometimes they cannot.
Why not rather have a conversation with the man to ask, okay, would you like to be there
or not?
Yes,
or not? So if he agrees,
because you will
please be there. Be there.
You have to be there.
I did not do this alone.
You can hold me around my bag while I'm going
outside. I was going to quickly explain that when I had my child, my husband was saying, you can do it, don't worry. You can do it. When we got back home, like 3 days after, he couldn't. Next thing, my husband just started crying. He was not saying, how can you have gone through that process? Look at you. I don't believe you know anyone.
Yeah.
I was like, reality just
It hit
don't.
him
But
at
one
the
thing
time.
was that after that moment, he
It
gave me
changed
the
him.
respect.
Saying he will love you.
Of course.
Forget.
Okay, who has another story?
Okay.
No other person.
All right,
has a
I
story
have,
here.
yes. So
Okay.
the military troops of 4 Special Forces Command, Doma, Nasarawa State, arrested 12 suspected rail track vandals at Agwanyari in the Kena local government area of the state. According to the acting deputy director, Army Public Relations of the command, Joseph Afolashade, he was the one that stated this while he was doing a press briefing on Friday. And he said that they had a routine patrol and they intercepted 5 suspected rail track vandals. Why they started having investigations with them, they realized that they had extra people. It was more like a syndicate, and so they arrested. That led them to arrest another 7 of them. And the people were begging. They had top leaders in Nasarawa State. They were actually funding and sending them on those errands, and so they were begging. They wanted to bribe the officials with 5 million naira to be able to cut away with the rail tracks that they had stolen. Wow. We always talk about this. Government spends so much building those infrastructures for us. We, the people, will go there and steal. And now they have top men. So these suspects that have been arrested is not enough for me. I want them to name those top of men who
But
are
you know
the
how
heads
it
of the
is with
syndicate.
naming and shaming in this country.
And arrest them.
We don't do that. We see sometimes construction work is going on, and we see some people, breaking, destroying the roads because they want there should be traffic. And they can sell.
Can sell, they can steal.
And all of those.
Yeah.
So it's about we being responsible as a people is very important. One quick story here is the happy endings inside the massage parlor where clients demand erotic favors. So there's this story of a particular guy who runs a massage parlor. He said that a client called him to come and, she wanted massage, and afterwards the lady was saying that because of the way he massaged her, she was feeling so relaxed and
she wanted that thing.
And the guy was like, I'm sorry, I don't do it because it is not my thing. And she paid him. She told him that she was going to add more money.
Wow.
And he said no, that he is not up for that. And after that incident, she never called him again. We've had stories of massage parlors. Some persons, masseuses being, people just come there because of the way they feel afterwards. They start harassing them. They want happy hour, happy ending, whatever it is. But it's an interesting
It's a decent man to have refused.
Well, maybe he actually doesn't offer that
service.
There are those
people
who offer
actually
such
offer
services.
it. They would ask you, do you want
Happy
ending?
happy ending.
Oh, I don't
It's
want
it's
yes,
called happy ending.
Yes.
Yes, happy
Yeah,
ending.
I'm like, yeah.
What are you calling my name for? Look at Stobio.
It's okay. Me,
Because happy ending is not new now.
Saturday Vanguard. Thank you. The major story here, increased hardships, rising hopes. Nigerians will enjoy later. Abdulrazak speaking. By in 30 days, hope rises for total change in Enugu. Rape victim commits suicide. That's a sad one.
Very sad.
Abu Broker enduring peace between Igbos and Yorubas in Lagos. Uzodema speaking. Obaseki's tortuous quest to reinvent Edo. Davido breaks silence on pregnancy drama, declares Chioma, steal my assurance. Interesting. Buhari's confession on oil subsidy, he sacrificed national interest for party benefits. Nigerians. All right, who has what story?
So I have the very sad stories, unfortunate. In Eruwa community in Ibarapa, East local government area of Oyo State, a middle-aged man, simply known as Ajibode, allegedly raped a 16-year-old Olayemi Agbeloba, the apprentice of his wife at their residence. So he was, what's that his profession again? I think a carpenter or so. I'm going to get that. While the wife was a fashion designer. Okay, he was a welder, and the wife was a fashion designer. And so the young girl who came to learn how to sew was living with them. So you know how they do all this apprenticeship system where you leave and then you go to work with your madam. And after about 6 months, he started harassing her. So this particular day in the night, he went in and raped her. And the girl was so traumatized that she had to drink an insecticide. Yes, just drank it and died. So while they rushed her to the hospital, before she died, she confessed to the nurses that the man actually raped her. So the parents are complaining. The mother actually said that she had reported to her that the man was harassing her, and she was planning to come and take her back home, but she was wondering and asking, should she stay and finish the apprenticeship before, you see, where you're supposed to take action. I wouldn't even hear that. I'm already fighting, you know. And then now this has happened. She has finally lost this girl. The man, on the other hand, was going around boasting that they had arrested him and released him, boasting that nothing can be done to him. He knows a lot of people in the society. He'll be able to get himself out. Nothing can be done. So the parents are asking for justice, that they need him to be prosecuted for the acts. The mother and the father are really bereaved.
He should be. Justice has to be done. Any other story? Who has any story here? Nobody. Move on quickly to Saturday Tribune. The CSOs to independent marketers. Nigerians will reject 700 naira per litre petrol. Experts warn of job losses, rise in crime rate. UI done suggests urgent palliative measures for the poor. There's been talks about some percentage increase in the price of petrol. And then another story here says, I divorced my second wife, sent first wife home because things are very hard. I'd like to understand the story. Interesting. Gas cylinder explodes, raises buildings in Ibadan. My 1.2 million cash gone, cries landlady's brother. Makinde appoints Operation Bust DG, 11 other aides. Ojudeba, okay. Asking Slumps NUC for imposing 70% curriculum on universities. Stop misleading Nigerians. NUC fires back. Any Oba that is not chosen by IFA will be misbehaving. Olowu of Kuta speaking. Police arrest officers for running vehicle over suspects. What's your story?
I have a story there, and it just focuses on the concept of fake it till you make it. So this lady here, she's the one narrating the story, telling us about her friend called Boson, who wanted to be in the finance industry, and as at the time when he was planning to go into the industry, he didn't even have all the resources, he did not have the knowledge, but he kept on claiming that he wanted to own his own bank, wanted to go to Wall Street, but then he realized that he needed to look the part, you know, by, you know, looking well, dressing well, packaging, even had to borrow money to, you know, meet his clients. He actually developed, he actually learned how to, you know, communicate in all those financial jargons and all of that. And one thing that is very crucial to this story is that, because at the end of the day, this guy actually made it big, started landing big clients in the investment world. And one thing that is very key is that it's okay to aspire. You can actually fake it till you make it. But while you are faking it, building capacity, building capacity, you know,
which he did.
Which was what he did.
He was smart.
You know, so at the end of the day.
Don't fake it empty.
He was smart. He added to have the content. Right. So who has any other thing?
Yeah, so this man who had to, you know, tell one of his wives to go home because of the issues on ground. The removal of subsidy is one of the issues. So he's a 43-year-old Yunusa Ahmad, hails from Gada local government area of Sokoto State. He lives in Warri. So most of them had to leave the north because of the insecurity there. They were not able to go to their farms anymore, and so they found a living in the south mostly. So he stays in Warri, sells electrical appliances and those other smaller things. Said he had 2 wives, but when fuel subsidy was removed, the hardship was still so tough he couldn't deal with both of the wives.
So the
first wife has 4 kids.
Don't say that too.
The second wife doesn't have any child yet. So it was easy to say, Madam, please pack your things and
go back to
your parents. I can no longer marry. And they asked him a question, how did that wife feel? He said, no, he didn't feel, she understood that she had to go back because of the measures. Even the first wife had to be sent to the village because he couldn't cope with taking care of them in Warri. Things were really very expensive. And so that one went back with the children in the village. So he visits them, you know, once in 2 months in Sokoto to see them and stay with them, and then comes back to hustle. And he's saying that life is really hard for a lot of people, and they had to just find their way. And I'm wondering if I was second wife and they say, come and be going because I can no longer take care of you. Me, I don't know.
I'm still not coming back.
I'm going to go without a fight. I don't know.
Well, what is there to fight for?
But for
That's the question.
For the guy, how would he be coping?
I hope he does not take another one.
He can manage himself.
He can't manage himself.
He feels he can manage himself and he cannot handle the responsibilities. But those children are yours.
Yes.
Those 4 kids, they are yours. Who takes care of them?
The wife in the village.
Perhaps you'll be sending money to them.
Marriage.
So, all right. So I hear that we have to go now because our time is up. Unfortunately, we cannot take some other stories we have on the papers, but it's been an interesting time.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.